Let's go. I'm getting into a step back, Mikey in the flesh, talking about the New Orleans Pelicans, and the San Antonio Popovich Spurs, and we getting busy, getting down to the business and the bones of the things, talking about how we going in the next round of the 10-9 play-in and how the 10-9 play-in went exactly how I called it on this particular one. I said New Orleans is a problem, and they were certainly a problem last night facing one of the better coached teams in the NBA. Did the San Antonio Spurs overachieve this year? 100%. I actually think they may have hurt themselves from a draft perspective, but they still got a lot of picks. In my opinion, they should have lost out. Their goal should have been Jabari. Power forward is definitely a need for them. The kid out of Auburn, this would have been a perfect match and implementation for this team. But with that said, they hit the play in and they did well. They did well for what they had, man. I mean, I love Lonnie Walker. I love DeJounte Murray. I think that's a great 1-2 punch if they can keep it. Lonnie's coming up under free agency, so it's going to be interesting to watch what they have there. They got a pretty good star and a good player in Johnson. And he, you know, out of Kentucky, it's been good for his whole career. A solid player. Primo is playing a little bit more. Portal's inside. They're a solid team, man. They're a solid team. I don't even think they're a playoff team, but they're pretty solid, and they can add some pieces, to make them a playoff team. I don't think there's anything in the draft that makes them a championship team. That would have to come off trades. Now, let's go to the other side. Let's talk about the New Orleans Pelicans and how loaded they are with talent. McCollum comes over. I consider him an all-star-like player. Ingram, I consider him an all-star-like player. I got Mr. Valanciunas performing as if he is an all-star-like player. Remember the great year he had with Memphis? He was actually better than Adams one year. So, all the talk about, Mr. Valanciunas, this and that, blah, blah, blah. He's a solid center in the NBA and definitely deserves his accolades and is slept on heavy. Then they got the big long loss. I mentioned it to you, Herb Jones and Graham. There's so many longs here and opportunities. Remember, Graham came from Charlotte, and he's the guy that can long you from three. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Longs. The guys that can shoot out from the 3-point land, and he's added on to a McCollum. They're similar players, and actually, Graham had a big scoring year with your boys on the the Charlotte Hornets, and he comes over here added on with Ingram and McCollum. And you got a really dope team. I like Alvarado. I don't know much about him, but from what I see him play, he's solid. He's stern and he makes the right play. He makes the right play. He makes the right play, and that I can appreciate. So Alvarado makes the right play, and that's a good thing. So I really like that. I really like that in the boy. Now when I step back and consider all the different opportunities for this team, it is Zion Williamson, right? Jackson Hayes is another athletic freak on the bench, but then you got the potential of Zion Williamson coming back to this team, and then they get scary. So I just mentioned two all-stars for sure, in McCollum and Mr. Ingram. You add on Zion, a potential all-star. He's putting up double-doubles all day. He looks like he's good enough to run, man. I'm not sure why they're not running the boy, but just imagine that. Imagine this lineup, getting Zion back. I think the New Orleans Pelicans are a very scary first-round matchup for the Phoenix Suns. Now, they have another game to play, because it was a little bit of war there. We said it would be, but Minnesota made it happen. So it'll be Clippers versus the Pelicans. And again, I'm going to warn you, I would not be surprised to see, a matter of fact, if they can get a Zion or somebody back like that in that ilk, do not be surprised to see the Pelicans take it over the Clippers, okay? And I'm going to go to the next round. If they can get Zion back, okay, I wouldn't be surprised. You heard it here first, your boy Step Back. The Nostradamus of basketball, man. I bet about 75, 80% of my predictions. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Pelicans beat up on your boys. Yes, sir. On your boys from the Phoenix Suns. Let's go back out. Obviously, the X factor is Chris Paul, but I want to show y'all something real quick, man. Let's get into the gritty gritty. I want to show you the lineup for the Pelicans so you can understand where I'm coming from. We'll go to the box score to figure this out. All right, let's go to the other side. Hello, how are you? McCollum Ingram, I talked about. Valanciunas, a big, long 3-and-D player. They got a lot of those. Herb Jones. Jackson Hayes looks like he plays a little bit in the starting lineup in the initial. He's from a defensive perspective. Won't see too many parts. Alvarado comes off the bench 12-1. Look at the three-point percentage for Alvarado. He's efficient. He's a young sleeper. Najee Marshall, big long, another 3-and-D player. Lance Trey Murphy, tremendous rookie, trying to make a name for himself. He's scary. He's scary on his potential. Another 3-and-D player. Lance Nance Jr., okay? Lance Nance Jr. I love saying Lance, but Larry Nance Jr., he comes in from a defensive perspective. Look at the rebounding, eight rebounds. Devontae Graham didn't play much, but if he gets hot, there goes your off-the-bench scorer. What about some Gary Temple, Tony Snell off the bench? What about Kyrie Lewis Jr., okay? Big-time guard. He can elevate them to the next level. Lewis Jr. performs the way he needs to perform and gets healthy. Okay. Gary Clark. Hernan Gomez from another backup center position. I don't know who M. Oni is. Who is Jared Harper? Is that the son of your boy? No, he didn't come out. He didn't come out from I like just checking on who the Harper kid. Nah, he ain't. I thought it was the Harper kid from Rutgers. I was like, what am I looking at? Anyhow, this is what it is, man. This is what it is for New Orleans. They got a lot of talent. They got 3-point shooters. They got inside players. And if they can get Kyrie Lewis Jr. and Zion back, they'll have a potential dog-ass guard. And Zion Williamson obviously is what he is, a big inside killer, taking up space, rebounding, active. I like what he can do defensively too. This is an exciting team, not to be slept on. Your boy step back. I wouldn't be surprised for them to beat the Clippers and then go ahead and beat the Suns. You heard it here first. Your boy step back. I'm gone. Peace.